In 1950, Ben Hogan stood on the 18th hole of the US Open. He was 220 yards out. He needed a perfect shot to force a playoff, and he pulled out a 1-iron. One of the hardest clubs in golf to hit. Most pros don't even carry that club in their bag. What makes that moment iconic isn't just the shot itself, it's everything that came before it. Just 16 months earlier, Hogan was nearly killed in a head-on collision with a Greyhound bus. His pelvis was shattered, his collarbone, ankle, ribs, all broken. Doctors weren't sure he'd walk again, but there he was, still in pain, still not fully recovered, beat up, overlooked, counted out, and yet he stayed in it. He stepped up to that ball and hit a 1-iron that landed on the green. He made the putt, forced the playoff. The next day, he won the US Open. That photo, Hogan's 1-iron shot, hangs on my wall, because I've been building for 14 years. Overlooked, underestimated, beat up more than people know. And that photo reminds me, if I walk off the course early, I don't get my 1-iron shot. Hogan didn't get his moment in the first round. It came on the 18th hole on the final day after everything he'd endured. And it wasn't in spite of the pain, it was because of it. Because he was used to the pressure, used to the weight, and that's what made him ready. And that's what I believe. Stay in the game. The moment might come late, but when it does, you'll be ready because of everything you've been through. Just don't walk off the course.
Wednesday, December 8th, or January 8th, 2025, 6:53. This is the location, pulling out of the garage. Got the updates. The Xerox RFP bid, I got that in, so we have passed the RFQ, request for quote, and then we got the RFP that's for offsite. We're working a lot on Sage Vana and designing the Sages and just the issues with the connectivity and how the apps would work, and then trying to get the app built. I found one, it's called Wrapping a Website, but they call this no code, easy. No, it's not. You want to publish an app to the web Apple store, you actually need to have a Mac computer to do it, apparently. Don't. And so all these fuckers out there sit there and just soak you in every way they can and keep it cryptic. It's like taxes, I think. So they're trying to make it as confusing as possible to necessitate their need for the business. And, Apple's complicit in that. I don't know if Google's is bad or not. Kind of feel like I need that. I'd like to have something more to push out at ECS coming up on Monday with the Copier. I'm changing from Copier Oracle to Copier Sage, and found a more stable platform. But now I'm finding they charge tokens based on data or something. I have to figure that out. Because again, if I'm offering a free service to do this, or a subscription service from the application, and if I do get the usage on it, I could lose a lot of money where the users are blowing up using tokens and incurring costs for me on that side, where there's a void of revenue. However, the wisdom I think on it is, if I do have that much usage and people on those things, I should be able to pull the queries or see the chats and then understand the search words and then start selling that for search relevance and then generating revenue off of that. So it could have an initial cash drain, but it verifies the business model. But I am figuring out how to put different instructions in there and everything. And so one of them is instructions about limiting responses to 1,000 tokens. I'm not getting it right now with Zapier. I'm not seeing the charges on that. And ChatGPT caps you out based on your monthly membership. It's a ton of learning and doing stuff. I made RenewAlert's chat. I inserted that into the RenewAlert.net website and made it just freaking stellar. So I mean, it's still a lot more work, but it's got all industry reminder relevance. It'll actually write the content to put into the RenewAlert entry, and it'll offer to rewrite the email that the user can copy and paste. That's early on. I'd like to have that eventually integrated into the software where it can do that too. And then I've actually got back with, been doing calls with them. They're interested in RenewAlert and branches, and now they want to talk about Titan 8, but with the RenewAlert part, they want some functionality and integrations that it just doesn't have. But I've had the epiphany of learning from all of this stuff. I'm like, but I can build it. I'm trying to get good, great, yeah, that'd be exciting, So I think I can just charge more for it and charge them for the integration, because it's a custom software solution. So you would just charge for that. So I'm trying to get my developer. Day before yesterday, I reached out, nothing yesterday. If I don't hear for that today, I'm going to go find a new developer, because this is business, this is a sale, this is an opportunity. I don't have time to sit here. So hopefully that'll work. I'm trying to get water, and every Circle K, let's just take a look, has their water machines out of order. And it's been like that once by my office or house for 2 weeks. We do the 5-gallon water jars because tap water is bad. Unbelievable. Another one. See that? They found one that works. There's our water. The ghetto. Indian school in like 18th Street?
I think some people wonder, why am I still engaging with the copier industry while I'm building AI tools and software? That was my past, offsite. Now I've pivoted to the software space, so why still talk about copiers? The truth is there are a lot of reasons. For one, to survive in the office equipment industry today, dealers can't just sell copiers. They need to cast a wider net. Many are already moving into electric car charging, managed IT, software platforms, you name it. That's exactly where RenewAlert fits in. One gap I noticed from my time in the industry is this. Dealers are still manually tracking LOI dates when storing competitors' leased equipment, Outlook reminders and spreadsheets. It's inefficient. And when those reminder dates are missed, leases auto-renew and the dealer ends up paying the bill. Sometimes it's thousands of dollars. So I built a solution. Dealers can either use RenewAlert as a subscription tool to help their lease administrators automate the tracking and reminders of their customers' competitive leases, or become a RenewAlert reseller and stop babysitting their customers' lease obligations entirely. Instead of saying, we'll remind you when to send your LOI, why not offer a full system that tracks all contracts, leases, permits, compliance, and subscriptions? It's a better value proposition and it opens the door to other insights in the customer's operation that the dealer can potentially sell into. I've also been a member of the consortium for a number of years. It's a peer group of vetted copier industry vendors. They've started bringing on dealers and OEMs as well to create more value all around. Every year there's an event, the Executive Connection Summit, and this year it's in January. With my exit from offsite, I've pivoted fully into launching Sagevana in a project I'm incredibly proud of, the Copier Sage, a custom AI chatbot I've been building for the last month. Now this isn't just a lease calculator or chatbot for sales reps. I built it to be a real operational tool. I pulled in company information from every vendor in the consortium and loaded it into the Copier Sage knowledge base. For example, if a dealer wants to search for a marketing provider in a specific region, they'll get concise results, summaries, contact information, and website links. The whole thing is searchable, clean, and accurate. Yes, RenewAlert's in there. Offsite's in there too. But the beauty of this is everyone in the consortium benefits. I brought this up on a recent consortium call, and the leadership gave me the go-ahead to announce it at ECS during the press release session. So I prepared a press release, and I'll read it live at the event. I truly hope the consortium members take this seriously, because if they do, it becomes a resource we can all benefit from. I even added the ECS 2025 event schedule inside the Copier Sage. Dealers and vendors can use it to check the agenda, lunch break, speaker information, and yes, even LinkedIn profiles and bios for the presenters. My goal, get people to actually try the tool while they're at the event. Now look, I know this product is remarkable, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't have reservations. AI is a buzzword right now. Everyone talks about it, but few understand what it really means or how to apply it. I think some still see me as the copier storage guy. What do I know about AI? The truth is, every time I've brought innovation to the table in the past, I've been ignored. My messages have been overlooked. Dealers and OEMs say they want innovation, but do they actually recognize it when it's right in front of them? I don't know if this time will be different. I hope it is. I hope the consortium members see the potential in this tool and help push it, because if we do this together, we all win. We all benefit. A rising tide lifts all boats. If the chatbot isn't surfacing their companies correctly or something looks off, I'll fix it. I want to get it right. But I can't understand why anyone in the consortium wouldn't want to be part of this and help get it out there. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to make something that helps, something useful, something real. Whether this launch at ECS gains traction or whether I need to take a different path to grow RenewAlert remains to be seen. But I'm putting it out there and let's see what happens. The ECS show was great. For me, the highlight was the session on quantum computing. I think a lot of people mix up artificial intelligence and quantum computing, but they're completely different things. AI, like the large language models we use today, is basically a super-powered search engine. It can process huge volumes of data and present it in almost any format you ask for. It's incredibly useful, but it's not magic. Quantum computing, on the other hand, is something else entirely. It has the potential to solve insanely complex problems in just seconds, things that would take traditional computers years. And here's the scary part. One of the big concerns with quantum computing is its ability to crack encryption. That includes crypto wallets, secure government systems, banking, even national defense. If a bad actor had access to a working quantum computer, today's encryption wouldn't stand a chance.
Wednesday, January 15th, 2025. Just at the office. Had to go in. We had the ECS thing. I got a golf tournament I got to run to, but I couldn't go spend the day there. You know, it's a one-man company. I'm the only one. If I stop, business stops. So I have to keep cranking the stuff out. So I had, jumped in a little bit of time on Monday here for offsite. So I got those done. I could exit that. Created the paperwork and the BOLs for some of the equipment sales. Did that. Next, I got to send some stuff to Ed Spriegel over at Alcoa. Again, this is all sort of offsite stuff. And then moving over to, been working on my chatbots and chat agents that I'm trying to get these done. Streaming stage, apartment stage, Copier stage. Copier stage is pretty frustrating, but they all are. AI is just not as smart as we're told yet. But had an interesting thing yesterday at the convention on quantum computing that I think might be pretty cool to see. So this is the rest of the place here. The shot. It's a fascinating story with that. Kind of a mess.
The ECS event was a bit of a tough crowd. I had high hopes for the chatbot I built. I spent a lot of time loading in dealer and supplier information, but according to the analytics, not a single person from the event even opened it. It's a hard truth, but one I've seen before. Most copier dealers and OEMs aren't really wired for innovation. They talk about it, sure. Everyone wants to say they're forward thinking, but when it comes time to actually engage in something new, most would rather wait and see. The reality is, a lot of these companies succeed by sticking to what's worked, the formulas, the industry norms, the playbook. And to be fair, that approach has taken them pretty far. I have a lot of respect for these folks. They're sharp, experienced, and great to be around. But when it comes to new tech and new ideas, they're more likely to watch from the sidelines, at least until someone else proves it works. So it's clear to me now, I'm better off focusing my energy elsewhere. Not writing off the copier space entirely, but I'm going to shift my attention away from trying to turn them into resellers. I'll put that energy into direct sales, into the people and industries ready to engage right now. Some days after pouring in so much and hitting a wall, I do think maybe I should just go get a job, but I'm not going to quit. I don't quit. It's probably going to take me running out of money and options, and even then, unless my wife steps in and says it's time, I'll still be out here trying to find a way to make RenewAlert into what I know it can be. This business vlog documents my journey on how to start a business, how to start a software company, and start up businesses from zero. If you're searching for startup tips, business ideas, or how to start a business, start a software business, and how to run a business effectively, as well as different startup business ideas, subscribe for new videos every week.